I might have found a new niche for doing YouTube videos. Here's the story. I've told you before that I bought a little GoPro camera. And I went onto YouTube and I looked at a lot of videos. Some were about setting up the GoPro, the best settings for it. Some were like best usage, best practices, some ideas for how to use it. Some were some mounting hardware. Some were like studio reviews, where they just inside of a studio they talked about the camera. And there were a lot of action videos where people were using their GoPros to ride bikes or motorbikes outside, like adventure videos. They all had one common shortcoming, if I can call it that. And it was that every one that I saw, every one of these action videos, adventure videos, they were riding their bike or their motorbike down some rocky trail, down the side of a mountain. Some great shots. This one guy was on a trail where some of the corners were well banked, and some of them they had actually put up wooden planks to go around, and they would go on the wooden planks to bank around the corner. Incredibly nice videos. But I'll be 67 years old next month. I'm never going to attempt something like that. And then there were some, like there was one that I saw that was kind of scary. This guy was biking along this like ridge line high on the mountains. And the drop down below, which wasn't far away, was a long way down. And a couple guys mentioned, like one guy broke 2 ribs. He talked about the survival of his camera. The camera survived. He broke 2 ribs. Another guy dislocated his shoulder. It had to be popped back in their accidents. And they talked about some of the other accidents that people had gotten into. Really? Really? I'm never going to do anything like that. Okay. So what I got to thinking was, maybe there's a niche there for some videos. What about seniors? What about us? That maybe we want to go on a bike ride, especially if we have an e-bike like a Pedigo or one of the other models of e-bike, which is a pedal assist bike, where the bike does some of the work for you. So if you're going up a hill, you don't have to slog really hard to try to get up this hill. Downshift, downshift, downshift. The motor will kick in, and it'll assist your pedaling to just ease your way up to the top of the hill. So I got to thinking about that maybe there's a possibility for people who want to get out on their bicycle, get some exercise, get some recreation, get some fresh air, enjoy some sunshine, enjoy some scenery without risking their bones or without coming home with sore knees or an aching back, which I've done. And if I can talk them into buying a little Pedigo, buying a little GoPro rather, maybe they could video their own rides and share them on YouTube. They don't have to start a major YouTube channel. If they're on YouTube, they already have a YouTube channel under the name, but maybe they can post some of their rides, upload them to YouTube, get some decent software for editing videos, and share them with family and friends. This is what I did this weekend. I went for a ride up around Morro Bay in California, or along a nice road through Yosemite National Park, National Monument, whatever it's called. So there are some nice rides that people could go on without high impact, without risking themselves, and they could enjoy some recreation, some outdoor activity on a nice bicycle. Okay, I gotta qualify this a little bit. Yes, getting a nice e-bike is expensive. I have a Pedigo Interceptor Platinum. It's a very high-end bike. I don't know that it's top of the line, but it's near top of the line because there were certain things that I wanted, and this was the only model that had the things on it that I wanted. Yes, It was expensive, $4,400 out the door with taxes and everything. That's a lot of money to pay for a bicycle. However, I think of my brother and his wife. They live on a golf course. It's in a community where the homes are built along the sides of the fairways in this big golf course in Florida. They live there because they love to play golf. Well, what do they pay per year for association fees or green fees to use the golf course, the membership fees and so forth? You spend the money up front to buy a bike, maybe buy a GoPro camera, and then that's it. You don't have to pay money to get on the bike and go for a ride. It's free after that. Okay, if you've got an e-bike, you have to charge the battery, but what does it cost to charge the battery for 3 hours once every 2 or 3 weeks? It's not like it's costing thousands of dollars. So to me, it's a very low impact and very economical way to enjoy some recreation without having to spend a whole lot of money. What does it cost to go skiing? You go for a skiing weekend, your lift ticket, access to the ski slopes. I've never been skiing, so I don't know what it costs. If you stay for the entire weekend, it's overnight lodging, right? It all adds up. Gas to drive to the mountains and then drive back. Gasoline, what's it today? I think it's nearing $4 a gallon. There are some things you need to know. Like, for example, I do voiceovers when I do my videos. I assemble all my video clips in my video software. I strip out all the audio. And let me tell you why. I'll show you. Let me show you why I strip out the audio. Watch this little demonstration. Okay, so you can hear the sound in the background, and what that is that's the motor. One of the noises is the motor of my bicycle. If I were to wear a body harness and have my camera on the body harness, it would pick up less of that motor noise. But the motor noise is kind of like traveling through the frame and up into the camera because I use one of these. I mount my GoPro right to the handlebars of my bicycle. So the noise travels through. And then I have a shock absorber in the seat post, and that right now squeaks. You can hear that squeaking noise in the video. So what I do is I strip out all the audio, and I bought over at Best Buy a little voice recorder. And what I do is I assemble all my video clips, strip out all the audio. I made get a little excessive sometimes, but you know, I used this is one of those devices you can use for holding up like a tablet, right? I attached some foam to it with a wire harness, one of these zip ties, and then I set my microphone on it, and then I set that right in front of my computer keyboard. And while I'm watching my video, I'll talk about it. Here I'm entering a side road. This is a dead-end side road. This leads to the railroad tracks at one end, but down the end is where other end is where I want to get onto the bike path. I talk about my video clips. And that way you don't get any of the background noise of the ride. You get a nice voiceover explaining what the video is about. So there are other things you can buy. I'm not going to tell you about one, but I ordered it. It's going to come this week. Oh, I'm not going to tell you about it. It's going to be a surprise. But I can't wait to get it and start experimenting with it, because I think it's going to really improve the quality of my videos. And what I'm thinking about doing as far as these cycling adventures for seniors YouTube channel is, besides having some of my rides, also occasionally doing a little video tutorial on something that might make videoing easier, better, give them better results. Something that I've learned in using my GoPro. For example, doing the voiceovers. That was something I learned after doing my first video on my bicycle with my GoPro. I thought, I can't use this audio. It's no good. So little things like that, little tricks and tips that I've learned, thinking of sharing that as well. So that's kind of the niche that I'm experimenting with, that I think I might be able to set up. Like, I've got a YouTube channel called Vlogging the News. I thought that was going to be fun for a while, but it was a lot of work. I'd read 10, 12 articles, print them up, read them top to bottom, make some highlights. Sometimes I'd actually write an outline of the 2 or 3 articles that I wanted to cover in the news. I'd spend all day just doing these news articles, and it was just so much work. And I don't get paid for these videos. My mobile home gourmet channel, those videos are monetized, and they don't make a lot of money, but they pay for the food. They don't cover my living expenses, but, you know, I'm making enough. So it's fine. That's fine. These are not monetized because I don't have enough interest yet. A video might get watched 50, 60 times. It has to get watched like 2,000 times, every video, for it to start making some decent money. But maybe with my video adventures, cycling adventures for seniors, maybe that'll do something. So I'm thinking of stripping out all of the videos that are in that Vlogging the News channel, renaming the channel, and then starting again. I'll do one video that'll be my first like introductory video, just explaining what I'm doing and why. And then subsequent videos, I'll start them off by saying, if you haven't watched my introductory video, you may want to watch that first. But here's today's ride. Just kind of mention it so that people who might start somewhere in the middle will know there's an explanation video back at the beginning to explain what's going on, and put a link in there for them. So that's the plan. I'm thinking of doing that. I would use my regular kitchen vlog to talk about some of my rides and show some of my highlights. I don't want to duplicate the videos on 2 channels because YouTube might not like that, but use the Cycling Adventures for Seniors channel, bigger rides, fuller videos of the rides, but do some of the introductions here, showing some highlights and so forth. So that's the plan. If you don't mind commenting, let me know what you think. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. I don't care. I do care. I do pay attention to people's opinions and their requests. I fulfill some requests, as some of you know, because you've seen me fulfill your requests. And if you like the idea, let me know about it. Subscribe to this channel. If I start the other channel, subscribe to that one as well. Tell your senior friends about it. Send the link to them. And thanks for listening.